Breaking news: after 2 weeks and 1 day, it took a jury just over 2 hours to find Ryan Ruth guilty on all 5 federal counts for trying to assassinate then presidential candidate Donald Trump at his West Palm Beach golf course last September.
That guilty verdict triggering 2 different outbursts in court.
We do have team coverage of the verdict. Terry Parker has been in the courtroom every single day of the trial. Our co-anchor Felicia Rodriguez is also there, but because of those strong storms that Chris just told us about, we're going to go to them after those storms move through the Fort Pierce area.
I hope to get to them very quickly here, but it did take jurors less than 2.5 hours to reach that verdict. We do want to walk you through that verdict now, and each of those guilty charges. Here they are. They included attempting to assassinate a major presidential candidate. This is the most serious charge, carrying a maximum of life in prison, possessing a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. Ruth used a rifle to carry out his plot and assaulting a federal officer. A Secret Service agent spotted Ruth and fired at him. Ruth then fled the scene. He was also found guilty of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. Ruth has felony convictions from 2002 and 2010, as well as possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. The rifle Ruth left at the scene had its serial number removed. As we mentioned, that dramatic courtroom outburst, Ryan Ruth tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen after his guilty verdicts were read and right after the jury walked out.
Yeah, Ruth tried to plunge that pen into his neck while getting up from the defense table. His daughter, Sarah, who was sitting 2 rows back, telling our reporters that she screamed and tried to climb over the benches to get to her father. She also said that he tried to kill himself when he did that. She says she doesn't know if the pen went into his neck, but courtroom marshals did surround him and they forcibly removed him from court. Sarah Ruth was shouting, "Dad, I love you. Don't do anything. I will get you out." Ruth delivered a closing argument to jurors, saying, "It is hard for me to believe a crime occurred if this trigger was never pulled." Ruth said he had what he described a golden opportunity to shoot and kill Trump while Trump was still on the 5th hole, but that he didn't take it. And he said he didn't shoot at the Secret Service agent either. He claimed even if he had planned to kill Trump, it doesn't mean that he could carry it out when it came down to it, so that there was no real intent. That was the basis of his closing argument today.
And as we know, the government argued, of course, he had intent, saying the evidence in this case has shown one thing and one thing only, that the defendant, Ryan Ruth, wanted Donald Trump dead.
Ruth argued he was a peaceful gentleman his whole life, and when it came down to it, he just could not kill someone in cold blood. His daughter and son stood outside the courthouse in the rain, waiting for Ruth to be driven back to the jail. And Sarah Ruth tells our Terry Parker that that was the worst day of her life, that her father is going to prison, but he didn't do anything, which was Ruth's argument, which the jury, of course, did not agree with.
Very serious charges. Ruth is facing life in prison. He'll be sentenced on December 18th. Coming up at 4:30, we're going to walk you through the closing arguments and why Ruth got a strong warning from the judge. Of course, WPBF 25 has been following this story since the initial investigation at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course. You can read all of that coverage, as well as the coverage of Ruth's trial, on our website right now, WPBF.com.
A short time ago, President Trump posted on social media. The post says in part, quote, "The trial was meticulously handled, and I would like to thank the judge and jury for their time, professionalism, and patience. This was an evil man with an evil intention, and they caught him. I would also like to thank the Secret Service, Department of Florida law enforcement, and the wonderful person who spotted him running from the site of the crime and acting by following him and getting all the information on the car type and license plate to the sheriff's office immediately, which led to his arrest and conviction." U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi posting on X, today's guilty verdict against would-be Trump assassin Ryan Ruth illustrates the Department of Justice's commitment to punishing those who engage in political violence. This attempted assassination was not only an attack on our president, but an affront to our very nation itself. I am grateful to Jason Quinones, his entire trial team, and our law enforcement partners for protecting President Trump and securing this important verdict.
Meanwhile, President Trump